Tokyo Ghoul Re was one of the worst anime adaptations in all of anime history. Maybe second only to The Promised Neverland, but I'm too traumatized still to talk about that. So in an attempt to maintain my love for the series and also Tokyo Ghoul Re, the manga, which you should read by the way, it's amazing. I'm gonna provide 3 ways I think the series could have just done things better. Number 1, clean up the disconnect from Tokyo Ghoul Season 2 going into Tokyo Ghoul Re. If you go right now into Crunchyroll, Tokyo Ghoul Re, Episode 1, read the comments. Half the people don't know if it's the same series. Half the people are like, wait, where's Kaneki? There's so many questions and so much confusion. How can we go from peak at Tokyo Ghoul Season 2, utter confusion and chaos? It was done so poorly. So for those of you who don't know, the end of Tokyo Ghoul Season 2, the manga, has a fight between Arima and Kaneki, which doesn't take place in the snow and Kaneki's holding Hide. No, it takes place, I think, in one of the CCG prisons. And Arima claps Kaneki, obviously. He's like one of the ghosts in the series, stabs him through the eye. But Arima saw potential in Kaneki and said, hey, I can bring him in as a ghoul investigator. And that's where you get Sasaki, who's the main protagonist in Tokyo Ghoul Re. And you get none of that in Tokyo Ghoul Re. Like, you don't even know what's going on, what time it is, who's what happened to her, what happened to him, you know, all that stuff. We have no context to that if you're just an anime only. Yeah, all you know is that one thing, Kaneki was holding Hide, some guy with white hair and glasses is staring at him, presumably kills him, and then you have a random other squad in Tokyo Ghoul Re that starts off the series. It's completely disconnected, completely disjointed. I understand what they were trying to do also. It seems like they were trying to surprise us with Kaneki, like, oh, what happened to Kaneki at the end of Tokyo Ghoul Season 2? And then he pops up Episode 2 of Re, and you're like, whoa, it's such a mystery. Wow, it's so cool. I'm so excited. It never had that effect, and it never was going to, because honestly, I think sometimes it's best to just keep the manga in, because the continuity of the narrative needs to maintain a certain structure to keep the reader or user or watcher engaged. And that's exactly what I think they should do. Like, they should just keep it as is. Or if they want the snow scene that's like cinematic and sentimental, they should just have Kaneki and Arima fight there. Have Arima beat him, stab him through the eye, and then Tokyo Ghoul Re should just start off with Kaneki basically like, you know, going through surgery, getting indoctrinated in the CCG, becoming Sasaki. You would have so much more connection. You have less people confused and more people engaged. You're like, oh, what's gonna happen now? What's Sasaki gonna become? So honestly, the easiest thing they can do is just maintain the manga ending going into Tokyo Ghoul Re. It would keep users engaged. They would still love what happened in seasons 1 and 2, and then they wouldn't feel confused when they get into Tokyo Ghoul. The second thing I would do is slow down the freaking pacing, man. There are so many good characters in Tokyo Ghoul. I think that's one of its strengths. It has actually a pretty broad cast between ghouls and investigators. Like, take a character like Tsukiyama, character like Juzo, character like Furuta, even Kaneki. They could have easily taken what was 2 seasons, or it was 1 season that was 24 episodes, and they could have made it 48 episodes easily, right? And they could have taken 3 or 4 episodes to really dig more into the characters, because you get to see a whole other side in Tokyo Ghoul Re of like the CCG, the other wards, the other different ghoul factions. Like, there's so much more like world building, yet they're not developing the characters and you're not getting deeper with the characters. It's just going wide and not deep, and that typically like is super surface level and leaves the user unengaged. So like, take time to actually slow down with the characters, develop them more, and deepen the relationships as you reach the ending of the series, right? Because by the end of it, you want to be like, man, I rode with those characters. And I don't feel like they do that well enough in the anime. In the manga, they do a great job of that. The third thing I would have them do, and this is not the fault of the voice actors. It looks like bad voice acting direction. No disrespect to the director or the animators. It just feels the conversations, 1, are inauthentic. The characters there don't want to actually be there. And 2, it just feels like they don't want to talk to each other. Even Toka and Kaneki, like when they first see each other again and they're having conversations, I don't feel it. It doesn't feel genuine to me. Like, even when Toka says Ken, like there's no emotion in her voice. And that's not the fault of the voice actor. That should have been another take. That should have been slowing it down, expanding and deepening the relationships there, and voice acting is a huge part of that. So I would definitely recommend the director should take his time with the voice actors to really dig out the emotion that we felt so deeply in season 1 and 2. So those are the 3 ways that I personally would try and improve Tokyo Ghoul Re, the anime. I really hope it's remade. It has so much potential. It could easily be a top 10 to 15, if not top 5 anime if it's remade. So if you have any thoughts on how you'd make Tokyo Ghoul Re, the anime, better, drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. 追いかけたい茨城から